Welcome to another episode of Purpose NIL, the show that makes entrepreneurs on purpose for the greater good. They include student athletes as well as you. I'm your host, James M. Rink. I will be your purpose coach today. Joining me again is the University of Oklahoma's women's basketball player, Zya Vann. Zya's story is going to inspire you to chase your dreams and build plans to be able to build your dreams for the future. Zya Vann, you ready to go for another episode?
Yep, let's do it.
I hear the excitement in your voice. All right. And for our audience, just so you're aware, we're recording this episode in the middle of September as Zya prepares for women's basketball season. Zya, if you could just give a broad spectrum to our audience, what your schedule is like as you manage academics, basketball, NIL, family, friends, everything else, especially when it comes to basketball and the preparation that your schedule takes you in.
Yeah. Okay, so this week we actually just started our first official practice week. So we've been practicing basically 3 hours a day, 5 days a week. Yeah, that's been pretty tough. I still have classes twice a week. And then that doesn't really leave me with much time to spend time with my family and stuff. But I love it and I love what I do, so it's all worth it.
Well, we appreciate your time with us today. We're hoping this time investment will help you to define your purpose that you can take to your basketball team as well as your academics and to build new NIL opportunities. Now, to our audience at home, as a recap, Zya talks a lot about her love for her family. Her mother, her father, and her grandfather who just passed were all greater good influencers that allowed her to be the woman she is today. She also is the daughter of Bryant Vann, who played basketball at the University of Oklahoma in the 90s, as well as the younger sister to Skylar Vann, who played basketball at the University of Oklahoma for 5 seasons and just recently graduated. Zya, how is carrying on your family's basketball legacy at the University of Oklahoma? How has that impact you?
My dad and my sister were two phenomenal basketball players. And I think just carrying on their legacy won't be too hard or anything. I think it's just just going out there and just having fun. I think that's the best way to do it. Just being myself.
You also shared in a previous episode your dreams of playing in the WNBA. Tell us a little bit about that aspiration.
For as long as I've played basketball, I've always just dreamed of going to playing the WNBA when I get older. And some of my role models from the WNBA were probably growing up was probably Skylar Diggins. She plays as the same position as me. Sue Bird, Asia Wilson, Candace Parker. They've just done great things for women's basketball, and they're just great players. Seeing them has just it just inspires me more and more.
And what I heard you say in your explanation to answer my questions in those fantastic players is words of inspiration and excellence and encouragement. My guess is that's what you get feeling wise from those players. And that's what driving you, pushing you to want to be that kind of player at the University of Oklahoma, as well as a career in the WNBA. In the previous episode, you were able to identify the feelings. And the reason why we're talking about feelings again to the audience that may have not watched the previous episodes is we always use words of feelings put to actions to connect to people to define purpose. So Zya, if you wouldn't mind, re-identify just the core feelings that you love to feel that have allowed you to be the woman you are today that you want to go give others.
So my core feelings are love, happy, peace, safe, gratitude, and inspire.
All right. Since our last episode, when we've been able to identify those, have you had any moments of reflection or moments in your life that you can say, well, that's when I was feeling or giving one of those core feelings?
Yeah, I'd say So we talked about my grandpa quite a bit, or a little bit, in last episode, and his funeral was actually last Saturday, and I would say that I felt like all 6 of these feelings at his funeral. Just like getting to like see my family that I've actually never even met before, and then just like being able to like be there for my mom and my grandma. It just made me like very grateful to like be able to do those things, and I just felt like all the love from just like everybody around us, just like supporting us as we still are grieving, is just amazing. So yeah.
Well, that had to be a very powerful funeral and memorial service for your grandfather if you walked away from it feeling love, happy, peace, safe, grateful, and inspired. That sounds like he was a very, very powerful man if that's the spirit that he evoked from that time.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So as you go from family funerals and the huge loss of your grandfather to a week now on the court playing basketball, which of those core feelings can you take to your basketball game? Take a look at those again. Love, happy, peace, safe, grateful, and inspired.
I would probably say like peace. It's like always nice to have like a good like peace of mind, especially when you're like playing a sport, because I feel like it's just so easy to like get like very like just go into your head kind of. And I feel like that going to your head can really like affect your game. And so yeah, I'd probably just say peace.
That's powerful. And what I love about what you've just explained is, if I remember from the earlier episode, you talked about the power of your father's words when you would be having a difficult game. 9 times out of 10, he wasn't giving you basketball strategies, which he could. He was giving you words of peace. Or I think you've even said your father will send you messages or Bible verses or things to just keep you in a state of peace. Peace is very, very powerful for you to feel. And it's great that you're able to identify as a leader of your team, you can go bring peace to your teammate.
Yes, for sure.
And the great thing about that is we're going to talk about a flywheel of purpose. The more you give those feelings to others, it makes you feel better. It was a great line that Abraham Lincoln taught me. When I do good, I feel good. It's a flywheel of purpose. When we live for the greater good and giving feelings and good gestures to others, it in turn makes us feel the same. So my next question, because I know we're going into more pre-basketball season, when you go to the court to play a game and the fans are around you, look at those core feelings. Which of those feelings would you hope your fans felt from you watching you as an athlete?
Probably like happy and inspired.
That's great. Which is very similar to the feelings you said you got from your role models in the WNBA. Inspired, happy. And this again is how you are just a reproductive being in the feelings that you love to feel or the feelings that you love to give. Now, I do also understand you're in a very vulnerable time because you're still grieving the death of your grandfather. But the more that you can actually be living these feelings he gave you and your parents gave you, it'll help you honor your grandfather in a whole new way, which becomes transformational. That's when purpose can help you to rise above the noise and be the best person that you want to be.
It makes me feel really good. And I really just feel like that's what it's like all about. It's about like just like continuing the cycle. Like I was once inspired by like past like OU women's basketball players, and like now it's like my turn kind of to just like inspire other younger girls until it's like their turn kind of. And so it just makes me feel really good though that like all my like hard work has really like paid off.
It's your moment to shine. All right. Well, to our audience at home, we want to encourage you to do the exact same thing that Zya is doing. Acknowledge the people who've loved you to allow you to be who you are today and how they made you feel so that you can write a personal purpose statement to go give those same feelings to the people you want to influence for the greater good. And in business, that helps lead to new business opportunities. And Zya is going to do just that in our next segment as she defines her purpose to build her NIL brand. Every CEO wants two things. How do you turn $3 million into $20 million? And how do you keep the person who did it? Let me introduce you to Tamula, a sales leader who understands something most miss. Revenue growth follows purpose alignment.
That client grew their business with us. We took it from around 3 million to over 20 million in a couple of years.
That's not incremental growth, that's transformational. The difference wasn't tactics, it was alignment.
My purpose is to live my life with joy and intentional happiness so that I can lead and inspire others to do the same.
When you live your purpose authentically, people feel it.
You're not a vendor. You become a trusted partner. You actually become a trusted friend, which is even more important.
Hey, I was just checking in to see how your day went.
When purpose aligns with mission, partnership replaces selling.
They truly do look at you as a partner.
Top performers don't chase compensation, they chase alignment. Purpose isn't optional, it's your competitive advantage. Discover your purpose, transform everything. Go to purposeofyou.com. Welcome back to Purpose NIL, where we continue our conversation with the University of Oklahoma's women's basketball player, Zya Vann. So Zya is in the middle of the Purpose of You masterclass, where she is defining what her purpose is. As we said earlier, purpose all comes down to feelings put to actions to connect to people. She was already able to identify her core feelings of love, happy, peace, safe, gratitude, inspire. In this section of the show, we are going to focus on the actions, the things that Zya just loves to do. I gave Zya a list of action verbs. She was able to identify probably 24. I've asked Zya to narrow down the core action words to her top 5 or 6. So Zya, what was the first word you chose?
So my first word I have is strengthen. And it's actually funny because I was just talking to my strength coach yesterday, and I was just telling her like all my goals that I want to like accomplish in the weight room and stuff. And so like I do just want to get like stronger physically, but then like also mentally, just like just be able to like obstacles are going to constantly be thrown at me and stuff. And I just want to be able to honestly just like stay joyful and just like strong no matter what, and just stay like content kind of through it all. But then I also just want to get bigger in the weight room because that'll just make me a better athlete.
That's great. And I love how you've been able to figure out using the word for strengthen, both for emotional empowerment and physical empowerment. That's brilliant. That's a powerful word. What was the second word that you chose?
My second word is play. I just enjoy to play basketball, and I just want to play.
But I'm smiling because I'm thinking about what you said earlier in the episode about your family legacy. It's like, no, it won't be hard to carry on the tradition of basketball and my family legacy at the University of Oklahoma. I'll just get out and play.
Yeah.
Brilliant. It's brilliant. And certainly because now you're feeling that word is connected to your purpose, which I think is just great. All right. The next word on your list and why?
Overcome. I guess that kind of goes with like strengthen. I kind of already like described what that means. I'm gonna face challenges and obstacles, but it's just all about how I like overcome them and get over them, because I'm gonna have to eventually. The world keeps revolving, so yeah.
That's great. All right, what was the next word on your list?
I picked influence just because I think me personally, I like to be influenced, and so I just feel like I like influencing others as well.
That's great. All right, and your next word?
And I picked achieve, just because I just have a lot of goals I want to accomplish, and Achieve.
Then how about your final word, your sixth word?
And then my final word is commit. I just want to be commit. Kind of reminds me of like the word loyal, kind of. And so overall, I just want to be a loyal person, just like on the court or just, in basketball, but also just in life.
Well, I certainly love the words that you've chosen. And I believe once we get into the writing stage, you're going to enjoy connecting those action words with the feeling words you've already been able to identify as you write your personal purpose statement. The one thing that I have noticed in especially the words strengthen, overcome, influence, these were all things that you were also able to say, this is what your mother, your father, and your grandfather did for you with their words and how they gave you peace. And I can already see that you're taking all of those good attributes of your mother, your father, your grandfather, and the feelings they gave you directly connected to your life as a basketball player at the University of Oklahoma. It's good stuff.
Yes.
I'm just super thankful that I took the time to go through this masterclass and invest in myself to really discover my life's purpose. Because when we know our purpose and we're walking in that and we're helping them to feel a certain way, there is just such a joy and life in that. Take the time, go through the course, figure out your whys, figure out how you want to feel, figure out your actions. It's absolutely worth it.
Discovering your purpose can transform your life. Go to purposeofyou.com to learn more.
Welcome back to Purpose NIL. We are here with Zya Vann, who's already been able to identify the core feelings and the actions that she loves in her life that she is going to use to help write her personal purpose statement for her life, and then be able to use that purpose to be able to go out for new NIL opportunities, as well as taking her purpose to basketball and to academics. Zya and I have something in common. This is a story that I want to share with Zya to help encourage her, and maybe it will help encourage you as well. Zya has recently gone through the death of her grandfather, who was a greater good influencer in her life. Zya has also identified her grandfather as the greatest hype man, everybody's greatest hype man. He always found the good in life, even in bad times, even in rough circumstances. He was a man of optimism. I had a hype man in my life that also died. When I was 14 years old, my older brother died of a very rare disease called Duchenne muscular dystrophy. It was at the death of my older brother that forced me to ask, why am I alive? Why am I here? And it forced questions in my mind to help me try to figure out, what is the purpose of my life? Why am I here? And I was able to realize within time, my purpose is to communicate hope, to help people, to make people happy. And it's a way that I get to honor my brother's life, as well as the greater good influencers of my life, primarily my God and my dad. The same can be true to you. Once you identify your purpose, it helps you to transcend life's hardships and helps you to overcome. It helps you to be a better you. Zya, coming from in the same week, going from the funeral of your grandfather, moving into the basketball court in getting ready for this year's basketball season, how have you pivoted in a new direction of being a better athlete to your teammates and to yourself?
It's just trying to really just focus on my team and myself and just getting better and stuff. And yeah, really just being there for my team and just trying to be the best leader and just teammate I can be.
You're in a perfect place in your life for doing this right now, coming out of your grandfather's. I had no idea. And when you said his funeral was just last Saturday, I'm really grateful that you're here. I truly mean that. Every CEO wants two things: How do you turn $3 million into $20 million? And how do you keep the person who did it? Let me introduce you to Tamula, a sales leader who understands something most miss. Revenue growth follows purpose alignment.
That client grew their business with us. We took it from around 3 million to over 20 million in a couple of years.
That's not incremental growth, that's transformational. The difference wasn't tactics, it was alignment.
My purpose is to live my life with joy and intentional happiness so that I can lead and inspire others to do the same.
When you live your purpose authentically, people feel it.
You're not a vendor. You become a trusted partner. You actually become a trusted friend, which is even more important.
Yeah, I was just checking in to see how your day went.
When purpose aligns with mission, partnership replaces selling.
They truly do look at you as a partner.
Top performers don't chase compensation, they chase alignment. Purpose isn't optional, it's your competitive advantage. Discover your purpose, transform everything. Go to purposeofyou.com. Welcome back to Purpose NIL. We are continuing our conversation with the University of Oklahoma basketball player, Zya Vann. In your last segment, Zya and I were talking about how death can force us to ask big questions. Why am I alive? Why am I here? You may be feeling those same questions in your own life and asking those questions in your own life. Let's face it, we're all still getting over COVID and getting out of a very turbulent time. We all survived. And it's forcing all of us to kind of question, why am I alive? Why am I here? We're in a world of chaos and crisis, and having definition of why we're alive, why we're here, helps us to transcend the noise. So Zya has answered 16 yes or no questions that are found at purposeofyou.com for our free Purpose Transformation Assessment. One of the questions Zya answered yes to is, do you feel called to live your life in a more meaningful or impactful way? Zya, you answered yes to that question. Why is that question relevant to you?
Yeah, I think that question is relevant to me. Just because I feel like we're all put here for a reason and we all have a purpose here. Even if we haven't found what that purpose is yet. Just because I feel like we're all put here for a reason and we all have a purpose here. Even if we haven't found what that purpose is yet. We were all put here for a purpose, and I mean, I'm sure my purpose has something to do with basketball, but I do think I'm here for a more meaningful purpose, so that's why I answered yes to it.
That's great. All right, as we close out this episode, what is one thing, Zya Vann, you have learned about yourself or your purpose?
One thing I have learned about myself is that I just really like peace. That's one thing I've learned about myself.
Peace is powerful. And what I love about that answer is earlier in this episode, that's what you said you want to give to your teammates. It's one of your core feelings. You love to feel it. It's more valuable for whatever reason that you're in today, but you're also making an intentional act saying, as I go to practice, you want to give peace to your teammates. That's putting your purpose to work. And we congratulate you and we honor you for doing just that. That's how you're living your life in a more meaningful and impactful way.
Yep. Thank you.
Zya, thank you for being here today and thank you for sharing your story.
Of course.
Make sure you follow Zya Vann on Instagram at Zya Vann, ZYAVANN. And if you're a business owner or have business opportunities for Zya and her NIL, make sure you reach out to her on Open Doors. And you can also learn more about your own purpose and living a life on purpose at purposeofyou.com. And please follow me on social media on all platforms at James M. Rink. Thanks for watching this episode of Purpose NIL.